Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Galvin with another post-ER shift update. I don't know what's going on. Like I said before, I normally have pretty decent nights, and the last couple nights have been just horrible. It seems almost like we're seeing more people at night than we are actually in the day, and I don't know if that's because people are thinking coming in at night it might be less crowded and there's less risk, but boy, the last couple nights I've gotten just pummeled. I'm actually filming the video in a little conference room because my 4 a.m. PA, who leaves at 4 a.m., is still in our little office dictating. That's how bad it was last night. COVID, yes. Also seeing a lot of other things, lots of trauma, motor vehicle accidents, a lot of our kind of emergency medicine stuff. We're still seeing a lot of COVID, but certainly not nearly as bad as it was. I'm just beat. So I'm going to make it short. I do want to kind of come with some good news, though, because I think that as much positive news as we can kind of spread about what's going on, I think there is good things happening. Again, we talked about the other day, the Israelis, and they're doing basically just using the the Pfizer vaccine only, and they're tracking the data like crazy. And the Israeli Health Ministry came out with a study that they looked at people 2 weeks after the second dose of the vaccine. And 2 weeks after the second dose, I think they studied them from when they started up until like maybe a week ago, so up to maybe February 14th or 15th. What they're able to show is that those people that had both doses of the Pfizer vaccine had a 98.9% reduction in risk of dying. So it reduced deaths by 98.9%. It reduced severe illness by 99.2%, and it reduced hospitalizations by 98.9%. That's incredible. I mean, 99%, that's amazing. And that's, again, 14 days after the second dose. So there was a study that showed them, they did some things where it was after the first dose, they noticed marked, I think, 50% reduction in the hospitalizations. Well, now they're seeing nearly 100% reduction after two weeks after the second dose, which is excellent. There's also, my exercise-induced asthma is still beating me up a little bit. That's what CrossFit will do to you. Anyway, there's another study that shows that if you, and it's preliminary work now, but there's a question about if you've already had COVID, do you need both immunizations? Because in a way, your case of COVID is sort of your first exposure to the virus and your first immunization. It may be that people have had COVID already, just need to get one dose to get that really high level of immunity, because of this heterogeneous immunity that you get with COVID, because there's so many different proteins, many of which are not effective against protecting you from getting sick, whereas the vaccine causes you just to make antibodies against the spike protein, which does protect you. So it may be, and again, it's preliminary, but it may be that if you have had COVID, you only need to get one dose of the vaccination and you'll be good. And that's great because it'll expand, the amount of doses available for everybody else. Finally, again, I apologize. The last thing is a caution. I've read this in a couple different places about being cautious about about mammograms and risk of breast cancer with the vaccine. Not that the vaccine can cause you to get breast cancer, but since you're causing an immune response, it can cause swelling of the lymph nodes in that arm. And if you've had a prior cancer on the left side and you develop lymph nodes, that can be very scary because people won't know whether it's a recurrence of the cancer, if it's just from the immunization. And so what the recommendation is being made is that if you've had a breast cancer, get the immunization on the opposite side. Also, either get your mammogram done before or wait 4 to 6 weeks after the immunization, because it's possible for those nodes to show up on mammogram and send you down a path of biopsies and things that you don't need to because it was just from the immunization. So if you have had breast cancer, get the immunization on the side opposite of where your cancer was. If you need a mammogram, get it before the immunizations or wait 4 to 6 weeks afterwards. I'm going to cut it short here. I'm tired. I'm going to go home. Hope everybody stays safe. If you can, please like us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube. Hit the little bell if you want to know when I post. And I will talk to everybody soon. Wash your hands, wear masks, look after yourselves, look after your families, and look out for everybody else. Good night.